You know those Flow commercials, the progressive
Yes,
Flow
I love
commercials?
her.
And
She's
they're hilarious. She's so
I love
funny.
her.
So funny.
Oh, my
so
goodness
funny.
gracious.
They're so funny.
Cannot
They're
get enough.
so
I hope the
almost
campaign goes for
die.
I
decades.
die when she
Yes,
says stuff.
I
And then the
hope
little guy
the
They
that is
are
a bit
campaign
the
never
funniest things I have ever seen in my
I'm
life.
actually
I get
tearing up
excited. I
thinking
like a
about-
white lab coat now, just in
I'm
general.
tearing
I
up,
think it's fun.
crying at the thought that I may have seen my last one, that they won't continue them.
So,
They're in
so
the Super
good.
Bowl. I think it's better than most programming.
She's great.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to another No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. Today's episode brought to you by Neutral Vodka Seltzer, made with real vodka, real seltzer, and real juice. It's Neutral, the one with the umlaut. It's Monday, March 13th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to Tassie is the beard woman, Top Shot Hot Boy. That's Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. And here we are, a little housekeeping before we get into it. Hello to the stream team. Thank you for joining us live on YouTube. Like the vid, comment away, and sub around and find out. Let's get those subs up. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. Get yourself a subscription to The Athletic. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks so they know that we sent you. And once you are done with today's classic, check out the brand new episode of Is This Good? With Stratford, Ontario's fourth, maybe third biggest celebrity, me. Yes, I joined JD and Matty O, discussed a lot of things, had a blast on Is This Good? We talked about human pyramids, buffet secrets, strip club ATMs, living next to swingers, and more on Is This Good? And by the way, Is This Good has a new Patreon set up to help the guys out, help these guys eat a little bit. A few membership levels. There's like good, great, and goat. I did like that.
That's right.
Smooth move there by Matty O. So patreon.com/isthisgood if you want to, I guess, get some like extras. That's what it unlocks, right?
You're going to get extras. You're going to get a chunk of the show that is going to be lifted out of the regular show, and it's going to be on the Patreon.
Ooh.
So if you want the full episode, you got to go to Patreon.
Okay.
Any tier gets you that. But if you want the video, you got to go to mid-tier.
They thought of it all.
Yeah.
All right. But just so everyone doesn't freak out, Is This Good? The show itself will continue to be, quote unquote, free once a week. But if you want all these extra goodies,
That's right.
You get into the Patreon game. All right.
You won't even really notice, but you'll go, wait, this is shorter than normal. I wonder what happened. It's longer on Patreon.
Diabolical. I love it. Tonight, join us for another NBA watch party on Playback. We're going to start with the Grizzlies-Mavericks game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, but I assume the plan, Tass, to jump around a little bit.
Yeah, baby. No Patreon levels here. You just come jump, enjoy the show tonight. Listen, it feels like the playoffs are already starting. Every game matters a lot. So, yeah, we got Mavs, Grizzlies. Hopefully, Kyrie's in there. We got an image of Kyrie right now. He's
yeah, I didn't know who to put, man.
That's reasonable. He's questionable right now. You never know. Foot soreness. He could play. He could very well. But we got Jazz, Heat. We got Wolves, Hawks. We got a lot of games going on.
All right, so join us tonight. Playback. We got the link there. I'll add the link to our show notes. Join us at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be tweeting it out, of course, and we'll have a lot of fun. It's always a blast to watch these games with you. Okay. Before we get to winners and losers, we had two more wedgies. This is great news. We'll start, well, both of them actually happened on Saturday. Nicholas Batum from the corner. Had a lot of Clipper wedgies this year.
Absolutely.
That's a deep one. Really nice wedgie there from the corner, so that's fantastic. And then later that day, Kyra Lewis Jr. with the floater wedgie on sort of the open layup attempt there.
It's like two for him in a week,
didn't
right?
He just have one?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right. I think
on the 6th, 1 week away.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Within a week. Good for him. And that he was wide open, too.
Yeah.
Just sticking a plain old wedgie right there from 5 feet.
Yeah, you're right. Little caught between, am I going backboard or not?
Yeah,
and,
right.
It stuck it. So anyway, 44 wedgies on the year. Look at that pace.
Yeah, really picked up.
Really did. They come
March
in
has been
bunches.
good.
It's been great. So, fantastic.
And just a quick note on the Clippers one. I mentioned last week. We saw one in Los Angeles. I said, is this a fever dream? Am I hearing the PA announcer yell wedgie when it happens? It wasn't a fever dream. It happens in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Because remember Ralph Lawler, who called games for the Clippers for 41 years? The man we basically took wedgie from.
Yeah.
We popularized it from Ralph Lawler. We asked him about it when we were with the starters. He made it happen in Los Angeles for so long that as soon as a wedgie happens, the PA announcer just says, wedgie, and that's
I love it.
Doesn't go any deeper than that. He doesn't give you analysis like No Dunks does. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So
Excellent.
that happens. And thanks to you out there who let me know that. Because I thought I was dreaming when I heard that on a broadcast.
It's real.
It's real.
Love it. Okay, let's get to winners and losers of the NBA weekend a little bit later in the show. We're going to have some March Madness fun. We're going to be filling out our bracket. Guys that know nothing about college basketball all week long. But I think it's going to be hilarious. But we are starting, because this is an NBA podcast, with the winners of the NBA weekend. Why don't you get us going here?
Well, first, a quick shout out to those Clippers who have won 3 in a row before I get to my actual winner of the weekend, because I think Ty Lue's figuring out that point guard thing out pretty well. Russell Westbrook's starting games, but he's not ending games. Last 2 games, no fourth quarter minutes. It's Eric Gordon who's manning the point, doing a good job. 3 big assists against the Knicks on Saturday. Why I also love that particular game. You had Spike Lee sitting beside Steve Ballmer, 2 different individuals, but loving the camera on them the entire time. And just I love watching Kawhi the Machine right now. He's getting cut off. You know, it's back to the old Raptors Kawhi where he gets cut off. It looks like he's got nowhere to go. Guy looks like he's bottled him up, but Kawhi just goes pump, 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 and just gets off his feet just in time to get off a shot. It looks like there's no chance. He buries it because he's Kawhi. Him and Paul George got something going on. So anyways, interesting to watch those Clippers. But I've got the Cavs because I think these 2-game sets that we've seen the last few years kind of help out these teams that haven't had any postseason experience. Because it feels like these are sort of postseason series, these 2-game sets. If you take it seriously, you got to study film. You got to make sure you know what's going on. They played the Heat, another team that's got a lot of playoff experience doing this kind of thing, and they split them. They won the first one, and they lost the second one. So why are they a winner, Tess? Sounds kind of stupid. But I like how they're getting these losses out of their system here in the regular season. It's just getting into those habits of studying an opponent, and the Heat made adjustments. And so they saw it on the other side, going into Miami, which is nice on the road. If you go into the postseason and you steal one, it's all you want. As Donovan Mitchell said, that's all they were looking for. And they missed assignments, and they screwed up in Game 2, and they fouled after the Heat made adjustments, and they lost. But good to get out of their systems. I think it really does help. They got another 2-game set next week against the Brooklyn Nets, who they could be facing in the postseason. They could be facing the Knicks in the postseason. People thought they were going to be facing the Heat in the postseason. I know people would take the Cavs right now if they were going to play the Miami Heat, but it was only weeks ago. I think people were saying, oh, this is a bad matchup for this young Cavs team. So I think they're growing. We got the bad side could be that Jared Allen got poked in the eye in the second game of that set by Bam Adebayo, but it looks like it's just a contusion. So the Cavs in the 4th seed went on to beat the Hornets on Sunday. I'm kind of going back. They played Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Then they beat the Hornets on Sunday. They were down again. They had to come back. Ricky Rubio, probably his best game since coming back. He had 9 of his 11 points in the 4th quarter. So they are one of 3 teams that have got to 70 games already. Played a ton of games. 12 games left. Like I said about our playback this evening, it feels like the playoffs are here, and it feels like this team is learning, and they get another quick set here against the Brooklyn Nets if you take it seriously. And I know this team is going into the playoffs with a young team aside from Donovan Mitchell.
What do you think of the Cavaliers as a winner of the weekend? Task sort of going back to Wednesday, with that 2-game set there against the Miami Heat where they split it and then taking care of business on Sunday.
Well, I will also be referencing Wednesday for one of my losers.
When do you guys start your weekend? I love it.
Well, that's the thing. I actually was going to have Jimmy Butler as a winner of the weekend because he dominated the Cavs in the 4th quarter of the win for Miami, 12 points in the 4th quarter. Probably helped out by Jarrett Allen missing a little bit of time. Also, don't think it's super impressive that the Cavs had to come back to beat the Hornets.
Yeah, that's a thing that they do.
Yeah, that's a thing that they do, and they get lucky when Donovan Mitchell is making shots in the 4th quarter. But they've got Mitchell, they've got Garland. Those are 2 good guards at handling the ball. They can get shots quite a bit of time and knock down free throws as well. So I didn't necessarily expect the Cavs to be winners this weekend with the way their weekend went, but Tass made a great pitch.
Tass always swerves when it comes
always
to
swerves.
Yeah. They didn't have Garland that game that they did lose against the Miami Heat. You know, just going big picture here as well.
They are 3.5. The Cavs are behind the Sixers for the 3rd seed, and they are 3 games up on the Nets in the 4th slot. So they really, of like all of the teams across the board in both conferences, when you look at seedings, they are one that has space on both sides. And it feels like they will be hosting game 1 of a first-round series against who? Is it the Nets? Is it the Knicks? Is it possible it's the Heat? It's going to be likely one of those 3 teams. So they're going to have game 1 and 2 there in their own barn, and there's going to be some expectations, obviously, as a favorite, as the home team, to beat whoever they play.
And they're going to get down in one of those first 2 games, because that's what they do. They get down in these holes, and then they come back. Will they be able to come back? They do rely on Donovan Mitchell a little too much. But these 12 games, I think they are taking it seriously here in the stretch run to try and not do that, try and not get down. But the fact that they go into Miami and take 1, I think it just bodes well for their game 3 and 4, whether it's against the Knicks or the Nets. It looks like it's going to be against one of those teams.
Who do you got for a win of the weekend, TK?
Winner of the weekend for me is Sean Chu, John Lardy, and Nadim Sattar. Who are those?
No idea.
Oh, I know who they are. They are the guys that walked out of a preseason Kings game and said, 40 wins!
We're getting 40 wins this year!
Yes.
The Kings got 40 wins.
The prophecy is true.
They got a victory lap. There's a piece on The Athletic with these guys. Deuce and Mo had them on.
Yep.
I saw NBC Sports did a little piece as well. There's probably more out there. They deserve it. The Kings beat the Suns this weekend in Phoenix for their 3rd straight win. Sacramento 8-1 since the All-Star game. This is their first 40-win season since 05-06. Bibby and Brad running things out there in Sacramento. So shout out to those guys coming through with a prediction that got them laughed at the time. People saying 40 wins, that's not even 500. The Kings have a chance to get to 50 wins still with this season.
That was Summer League, right? Everyone was hot at Summer League.
That was Summer League.
Oh, it was Summer League,
and it wasn't even
preseason.
like Las Vegas Summer League. It was the California Classic Summer League. They were walking out of Chase Center.
Keegan was
hooting
cooking.
and hollering. Yeah, Keegan was cooking. Exactly right. One of the guys had on like a makeshift Keegan Murray jersey because they didn't exist yet. He said he just went to TJ Maxx and got the smallest white T-shirt he could find. Great stuff. But a great win, honestly, for Phoenix against the Suns on Saturday night. They got contributions. So for the Kings, they got contributions from everybody in this game. 7 players scored 12 or more points. I guess Harrison Barnes ended up leading them in scoring with just 19. They finished this game on a 13-4 run. They got 6 points from Domantas Sabonis, a couple assists from Malik Monk. De'Aaron Fox only scored 1 basket. He's been their clutch player this year. Harrison Barnes made some free throws and a massive 3 by Kessler Edwards. The guy's made 5 threes this season. Yeah. And he shot it like he's made 500 in his career. So a big-time winner of the weekend for the Kings and their fans and the Beam. It looks like the Kings have a pretty good shot, at least, of holding on to the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. This is also great if you care about winning divisions, then getting a win over the Suns. When the trade happened, it felt like Phoenix would have a chance to catch Sacramento. Obviously, Kevin Durant went down with an injury, but the Kings have just been playing great basketball.
Ridiculous contributions from the bench, as you said. Kessler Edwards, a guy they got at the trade deadline for a 2nd-round pick. No one really, batted an eye at that, just some depth, but the Kings going after depth, who would have thunk it? I mean, that's a trait of a very good team. Yeah, guys coming off the bench, as you said. Malik Monk, huge. Trey Lyles, huge. And Kessler Edwards, huge, along with some others there off the bench. But, yeah, going deep. This Kings, they went 10 deep in that game.
40 wins. I can't believe they've only done that like a handful of times in their franchise. It is really not that many, but it is to the Sacramento Kings, so congrats to those guys for calling it and for it coming true, and now they'll see if they can get to 50. I think that's going to be difficult. I think they're going to come up a little bit short of 50, but 45-plus wins? What a year.
I also, from reading about these guys, it seems that Sean and John, those two were already locked in as buddies. But Nadim was also at the game. His girlfriend is a Lakers fan. They came out. He saw those 2 guys getting chirped at by all the Warriors and Lakers fans, hating on them for never winning a championship, basically for being the Kings. So he stepped up, and he was ready to talk about getting 40 wins as well. And now these guys are like famous Kings fans buddies. Great stuff.
They're walking out of the arena, and they're just yelling, 40 wins. We're gonna win 40 wins.
Yeah.
And now they fulfilled it, man. They're just prophesizing outside a summer league game.
Season over.
You're getting written up months later. Pretty amazing.
All right, a couple other winners from the weekend. Joel Embiid has to be considered a winner of the weekend. 76ers won both their games. They stay within 1.5 games of the Celtics at the number 2 slot there. Embiid a monster, though. In 2 games, he averaged 36.5 points. He shot 61% from the field, 7.5 boards, 4 assists, 3.5 blocks, 1.5 steals. That's what he did over the weekend. He didn't hit a three-pointer, but he made 25 field goals and 23 free throws in the 2 games. And on Friday night, the most important field goal was the game-winning jumper, that little fadeaway around the free throw line, as the 76ers completed a huge comeback against the Blazers. I know we'll get to the Nuggets and some of the losses piling up for them, even though Jokic was putting up monster numbers. But this was a good weekend for the fans of people that want to say Joel Embiid is the MVP of this league. I mean, it can't get much better than winning, him dominating, him hitting a game winner, and the Nuggets struggling a little bit. According to Basketball Reference's MVP tracker, Embiid's chances went from about 8% when I checked before the weekend. They're up to 12%, according to the to Basketball Reference there. So a good weekend, and a lot of people are saying this isn't over. There's lots of time left. It's closer.
It's closer.
Whether or not you have Embiid 1, you still have Jokic 1, where Giannis comes in the mix. He's missed some games now, so maybe it helps out both of these guys in Jokic and Embiid. But what a weekend for the Sixers.
And Embiid eliminating that argument about him not playing a lot, because he's played in 54, 67 games. He's going to play a little less than 70 games, but he knows that could be one argument against them, and he's not going to let that happen, even though he very well could. He could sit games because he does have a foot that's banged up. He's mentioned it many times, so that could happen, but he doesn't want that to be part of the argument. Just a wild, beautiful game winner. I mean, he gets the ball at the three-point line, spin at the free throw line, buries it. They led for 1 second in that game. The right second. Right. The absolute last second. That was their only lead of the game. So pretty cool comeback.
Steph Curry, also winner of the weekend. I'm sure you guys saw this. A lot of you joining us here on YouTube, listening later. Saturday night, the Warriors snapped Milwaukee's 9-game road winning streak, defeated the Bucks 125-116 in overtime. The Warriors improved to 28-7 at the Chase Center. That's like the 4th best home record in the league. And they're 7-26 away from home, tied for the 3rd worst road record in the league. But Steph Curry is the reason why they won the game. Hands out. 22 of his game-high 36 points in the 4th quarter and overtime. He shot 13 of 27 from the field, so he sort of struggled for Steph Curry, hit 6 threes, but the biggest play of the game wasn't even an offensive bomb that he hit, though he hit many to obviously keep them in the game and win the game. He blocked a layup attempt by Drew Holiday, attacking what was probably going to be a really good look at the rim, and it was sort of the steal block variety, timed it perfectly, and got them into overtime, and then did work in the extra period there. But Curry, again, reminding everyone, I gave you the splits there. It's going to be weird. They're going to have to go on the road and win some of these series if they're going to go to the finals again. But you get these moments in a marquee game on Saturday night, and you're like, Jesus, yeah. When you have Curry, you have a pretty good chance. I don't care where you're playing, really. Now, no Giannis in this. That's obviously you're missing your MVP guy there from Milwaukee, but good stuff from Curry. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, good thing he did this, because that would have been a pretty bad
Brutal
loss for the Warriors. Having lost 3 straight, obviously on the road, they just can't win there. To lose 1 at home that was winnable against a team that was missing their best player, which their previous 3 losses were as well, that would have been really, really bad. Shades of Kyrie Irving on Steph Curry from the 2015 Finals, Game 1 on the block there. Pretty impressive stuff from Steph. That guy was exhausted, though, from carrying the team. He could barely, complete his post-game interview. He was huffing and puffing. I didn't even think he had it in him to celebrate the made 3 in overtime. So he just kind of gave a Dame Lillard stare down when he went off the court. That's usually reserved for a road game, I feel like. He was giving fierce looks to Golden State Warriors fans.
Yeah.
Different stuff.
One note I had from this game, too, I thought you were probably pretty high on, was you keep talking about Looney needing to play, should be playing more probably. He was pretty important in this game. Again, no Giannis for Milwaukee, but 15 rebounds for the Loon Man. And they got a lot of help from, DiVincenzo was huge on the glass. Draymond did his work there. Those 3 guys taking care of business, because they are, still waiting on whether or not Andrew Wiggins even returns at this point with personal matters, and who knows what's going on. You're hoping everything's okay with him and his family, but Yeah, he was big, Looney was.
Yeah, it almost feels like Wiggins' status was downgraded a little bit. It wasn't, but it felt like it was because they've been hopeful that he's going to come back during the regular season. But Kerr, after the game, says, we hope. But there wasn't like an expectation that he's coming back at any point. So hopefully everything's all right there. He's been gone for more than a month. They can rally around Wiggy when he comes back. That could definitely be a point there. But yeah, if Wiggins isn't there, then it's a lot more on Looney's shoulders, a lot more even on like Clay's shoulders to rebound because they're just a tiny team. So that's definitely a worrisome sign. And wow, what a Steph show the last few minutes, because it would have been a bad loss. But he does those like last second defensive plays throughout the history of the Warriors. He has had some, not huge blocks like that, but strips, because he's always in good position. He's not a bad defender.
Little love to Thunder rookie Jalen Williams. J-Dub, that one. Not the Jalen with the Y, the one without. He helped OKC to back-to-back wins over the Pelicans, a team they are like battling with to get into the play-in spot, and the Spurs took care of business there. In his 9 games since the All-Star break, Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is averaging 21 points per game, 5 boards, 5 assists, over 2 steals, shooting 57% from the floor, 46% from 3, and a very solid 82% at the line. And he's like a plus minus is what I meant, stud. And when it comes to the rookie class, it's Walker Kessler and it's Jalen Williams, J-Dub, leading in win shares. Like, they are very impactful to their team's record. And he's just been amazing and continued to play amazing. Now, Shea's sort of like back. He's in and out, right? He's not going to play back-to-back situations, so he missed one of these games. But it's all right if this guy's stepping up, and those are incredible stats for a rook and helping them win. And they're still in this. I mean, I think we thought maybe a week or two ago, it was like, what a season. And, Shea was missing time there, a good chunk of it. We're like, it's sort of, we were like, I remember I was like disappointed. I was like, I'd love to see them just playing in games that matter here near the end of March and early April, even if they don't get in. And they're right back in the mix. We have like a 4-way tie, I believe, like with a lot of these teams in the play-in, and then there's a couple others just on the outside. So good stuff there from Jalen Williams and the Thunder. TK, I know you got one more little mini winner before we pivot to the losers.
I got to give a mini winner to the Boston Celtics. Best team I've seen live this year. Went Saturday night to see Celtics Hawks, and it was the perfect Celtics game. They hit 23s. It was a big night for Jason Tatum as well. He finished with 34 and 15. There were clutch plays from Marcus Smart. Al Horford hit a clutch 3, which I feel like he's hit a ton of clutch 3s this season. Came from the corner, as it usually does. There were some hilarious plays from Marcus Smart as well. He had 2 wide open layups. One hit the shot clock and one hit absolutely nothing, just lost it out of bounds. And then he got in a fight with Trae Young and got ejected with a very slow-mo tackle. Like, it seemed to me more that he was falling down and just wanted to keep Trae with him. Kind of pulled guard on him, so that was hilarious to see live. Unfortunately, one of my children converted from being a Hawks fan to a Celtics fan, influenced by the family.
Oh, wow.
But a good weekend for the Celtics because, like you mentioned, the Bucks lost to the Warriors as well. Now they're only 2 losses down. Boston is behind Milwaukee.
Yeah.
In the race for the 1 seed. So good stuff for the Celtics. And like I said, I've seen now the Celtics, I've seen the Bucks, and I've seen the Nuggets, and clearly the Celtics were the most impressive live. Would like to see the Sixers. I think they come, but it's like the second to last game of the year here in Atlanta, so
could be
who knows what's even
shenanigans.
happening there.
You never know. I guess Philly could be playing.
Could be.
For a second seed or even a first seed is still even possible.
Was that a double tech for Smart on that ejection, or was it a single tech? Because I think it just deserved a single tech.
What with the tie up there with
I mean, he got hit in the testicles.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I think it was a one-tech ejection, and Trae got a tech as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that makes a little more sense. Because it wasn't that bad. It didn't feel like. I mean,
nobody threw each other down. They got tied up, hugging,
so
and
many
then
bodies, and he
entangled
kind of
fell
fell.
over. Yes, that's what happened.
But yeah, a great recovery for the Celtics. No Robert Williams. It's just good to see the oldies come in, and Blake Griffin with the hits, like just diving around.
Blake Griffin almost had a dunk.
Yeah, he didn't get up there.
Squeaker.
But just chipping in because they're so deep.
Let's go to losers. Let's do it all here in the A block, baby. Who you got?
I got the Mavs because it's an interesting situation with them because they're 3-8 in their last 11. They haven't won consecutive games in a month, but It could go the other way. I think the best way to describe it is it's teetering. It could go either way because these games that they lose are really, really close, and they're working hard. And on Saturday against the Grizzlies, they had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter that they gave up because they're super young in this game. They didn't have Luka, who's probably going to be out a couple more games, not playing tonight against the Grizzlies. Didn't have Kyrie with foot soreness. He's questionable for tonight. So they got up 11. They had Jaden Hardy starting his first game of his career as a Rook. Yeah, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway, 3 guys scoring 20-plus points, but they gave it up. It's just worrisome time. It is worry hours for the Dallas Mavericks. They sit tied for 7th, and they've got 4 teams, trailing them really, really, really closely in the play-in tournament race. As I said, they just don't know who they are. They give up a ton of points at the rim, as we sort of expected. 4th worst percentage at the rim since the Kyrie trade. They give up a lot of shots there. They don't necessarily know who they're playing. Christian Wood only played 15 minutes in a game without Kyrie and Luka. And Jason Kidd is just trying to figure this thing out. It's if Wood's not playing in these situations, Mavs fans are begging for him to play. But if he's not playing now, then he's not going to play with Kyrie and Luka, because those 3 together, if you see the numbers with those 3 together, they give up a ton of points. So they got to go more defensive. It's just one of these situations where they're losing these close games. Luka's going to be out for a bit. Only 14 games remaining. You'll probably want to get Luka healthy now to sit him out, because he hasn't looked right even when he has played the last couple of months. But worry hours, because
big time.
As we've said with the Kyrie situation, he could be a rental. So you literally have 14 more games. It's just very hard to envision this team going on the road and getting to a conference finals like they did last year, with the difficulty that they'd have going through the teams. We've mentioned the bunch of teams, but it feels like we're getting the top 6 a little bit more solidified. Are they going to go beat Nuggets, Kings, Grizzlies, Suns, Clippers, or Warriors? I mean, it's very difficult to imagine them beating 2 of those, albeit one of those teams. So it's because they just don't know who they are. The injuries have played a factor here where they haven't got into a flow, and hopefully Kyrie comes back, and then Luka has to come back. And I guess it is the smart thing to keep him out right now, to get him back and try and make a run, but
you got to be in the playoffs to make a run.
Yeah,
it's the somewhat worrisome part here. I mean, I think they'll still ultimately get into this thing, into one
playoffs?
of the top 8. Yeah, I mean, they might have to win their way in through the play-in, but like we were thinking, again, we knew things would change quickly in the Western Conference, but it looked like they were going to be one of the top seeds in the Western Conference, and have now slid all the way to 8th, but so many teams right on their heels that it's possible they don't even make the play-in. Because it's that bunched up. And that would just be drastic, especially then with the Kyrie Irving decision and what you're going to do with him. And then there is this whole, like you brought it up, but Mavs fans definitely are going, what is going on with Christian Wood? What are you doing, Jason Kidd? Like, why do we have this guy if you refuse to play him? So there's all that as well. Very bad weekend, I would say, for the Dallas Mavericks.
They're a game up on 11th right now, and they've still got a 3-game road trip on the schedule and a 5-game road trip. This is a team that's 12-21 on the road this season. Obviously, the Warriors get the most publicity for their road struggles, but Dallas has not been good away from Texas. So we'll see. I mean, I still think they probably at least are a play-in team, but it has not gone well since the trade deadline, basically, whereas you look at a team like the Lakers, they are peaking right now, certainly, even without LeBron. The Thunder, still a tough out. There's still some bad teams in the mix, certainly in the Western Conference, but is not a guarantee, I don't think, for Dallas right now.
Who do you have for a loser of the weekend? You got a team, you got a player, where are you going?
This is a rare loser here. Denver Nuggets. Went back and looked. I don't think they've been a loser of the weekend once this season. Maybe for when their rim couldn't get fixed.
Oh, yes.
I think that's a potential loser of the weekend for them, but I don't think they've got it for straight-up play on the court, but they're finally getting one because they went 0-2 this weekend against the Spurs and the Nets, 2 teams they could beat. Certainly the Spurs, though the Nets played really, really well, I thought. So Skeet's got to go back to Wednesday. They've lost 3 straight now. If you include the Bulls game on Wednesday, could be 4 if not for Scott Foster. This is only their second 3-game streak of the season. 3-game losing streak of the season. Their first since December, 4th time all year. They've lost consecutive games, pretty rare. Second time they've lost 2 straight at home, and the last was in November. The silver lining, though, they've still got a 5-game lead on number 2 in the West. So they're probably still going to have home court, at least in the Western Conference. But there are many anti-silver linings. Philadelphia, 2-0 over the weekend, which factors into the MVP race certainly, but also they're only a half game back of the Nuggets record-wise. They're tied in the loss column right now. If those two teams somehow meet in the finals, Philly could easily have home court advantage at this point. Also bad, Jamal Murray left Sunday's game due to left knee soreness. I think previously he was having right knee soreness, which is why he missed time, and he has been kind of struggling from the field regardless. 18 for 55 in his last 3 games, including 8 for 27 from 3. Yesterday, he could hit threes, could not make a shot inside the three-point arc. 0 for 7 from 2 yesterday. Just has not been looking totally healthy, which is a problem considering we're going into the playoffs. But maybe most worrying, I would say, is the bad vibes are finally starting to creep in for Denver right now. Michael Porter Jr. was benched in the fourth quarter after scoring 23 points in 23 minutes. He was hot yesterday, 9 for 12, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. But he was on the court in the third quarter when the Nuggets were getting absolutely smoked. They were outscored 37-18 by the Nets.
That's like the third thing that's fallen over by JD today. First one that made noise.
It's going down over there.
Wow.
That was a nice mug.
Yeah, show the mug. Show the mug for the people.
I was waiting to do a bit, but do you see it as the glass is half full or half empty?
Well done.
Oh, damn.
Look at that. Oh, bad. I didn't realize it had foam or something on the inside of it. Now that's all over my leg. Got a foam leg.
Sorry.
That's okay. You know who should feel sorry is Michael Malone. He should feel sorry to Michael Porter Jr. because they needed his scoring in the fourth quarter because Jamal Murray was out at that point. Post-game, Michael Porter Jr. was asked about finding a rhythm, and he said, Coach sat me the whole fourth and put me in with 20 seconds left, I think. So, I mean, it's impossible to catch a rhythm then. So I don't know if you guys are concerned now for the Nuggets or if this is just kind of like, we've got the 1 seed, but we still got 15 games left before the playoffs come. A little malaise, though, certainly a set in for Denver.
What do you think? Are you concerned?
Well, I also got to take one here on the chest. I feel sorry as well because I ruined your potential bit there. You were going to go a glass half full, glass half empty. I would say you got to keep the glass half full with this Nuggets team. It feels like the first little bump of the season. Like we've had many with the Celtics where they've hit these occasional 3-game little
dry spells.
patches. Yep. So I'm not concerned. 14 games left, though. The malaise is the question. Do you keep it going into the postseason? Do you keep playing hard? Because they've got a great home record. This is where they win their games. I just wouldn't want to see a team kind of just kind of stroll into the postseason and then get one of those first 2 games stolen from them because they're a 500 team on the road. They just kick ass at home. That would be my only concern going forward.
Yeah, the Michael Porter Jr. situation is a little odd here. Why he wasn't playing, and he's definitely frustrated with why he wasn't playing when asked about it, and that's fair. Was it because he had some defensive lapses? Was it because the Nuggets came back and Malone liked what he saw there in sort of who was out there? Like Brown is playing well. I mean, they have 2 Browns, not Christian Braun. They got Bruce and they got and Christian, but he was playing well, so it felt like deserving of minutes. But you got to find your guy. Like we talked about Michael Porter Jr. being like the ultimate swing guy, if you want to call him that, the ultimate X factor when it comes to the Nuggets' chances to win this whole damn thing. Like he needs to be an instrumental part. So not good timing if one of your star players is he's losing faith in the coach or the team or whatever it is. But they have time to rally here. I think this is a little blip. It's just the timing of it all is not great with the playoffs starting in a month.
Yeah, they got a month.
Yeah.
I mean, I this is trial times. I mean, Porter has had it happen in the playoffs before he got played off the court. Mm-hmm. So I think this is all right as long as he bounces back. But he is important.
Loser of the weekend to the Portland Trailblazers. They finished a 6-game road trip this weekend with losses in Philly and New Orleans. I wonder if it should just be a 7-game road trip and next stop is Cancun, because that might be it for Portland this year. They blew a 21-point lead, as we talked about a little bit, to the Sixers there on Friday night. Embiid making the fadeaway jumper. So they were in it, put up a decent fight, but came up short. And then on Sunday, Trey Murphy III hit a career-best 9 3-pointers, career-high 41 points. They smoked them. They just crushed the Blazers. And we had Lillard on the injury report as probable with right calf tightness. He went through warm-ups, and they kept him out. And this was an announcement like 45 minutes before the game. Everybody thought Lillard was playing. He doesn't. They lose. So not good here. They're now 31-37. They are 2 games behind the Jazz, the Thunder, the Lakers, and the Pelicans. All 4 of those teams I just listed, 33-35, for the final 2 spots in the play-in tournament. So if you're including the Blazers with those 4, that's 5 teams for 2 spots at the end of the play-in, just to even have a chance to obviously try to win your way in. I don't like the chances for Portland here. And this Lillard thing, he's played a lot of games this year. You would assume it must have been bad enough to for him to not go in a game against the Pelicans, a team they're battling to try and get in. You know, I think the grave has been dug. I'm not ready to put the dirt on them yet, but I think it's ready for them there, and it's not going to take long for them to drop into it. Though 8 of their next 9 are at home, where they're a better team.
Now's the time.
I just don't have faith in them. I think some of those teams I listed are just playing better. I mean, the Lakers and the Pelicans are a weird team, but the Jazz, Thunder, they're better. They're just a better team than them, and I can't believe the Blazers might miss the freaking play-in tournament.
Yeah. It may have just officially become a 12-team race for the Western Conference playoffs. It's been a 13er for a long time. Spurs and Rockets not included. But I agree, it feels like it, especially if it's that calf. It's the right calf that's been bothering him all year, almost.
Yes.
So, yeah, I wonder if it's a lingering issue with him. So, could be more games. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It's so funny. Like, I'm saying they're done, they're out of it. You know, the grave is dug. Start saying your prayers and all that. But
a lot of teams
you win 1 or 2 in a row in this weird race here, and you're suddenly right back in the mix.
But you got to have 3 teams be bad in front of you now
Yes.
for them to jump in. So, yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back...
Oh, we already had our first break.
I like it.
Came through with a joke anyway,
Okay.
man.
Incredible,
All right,
incredible. We'll take our first ad break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little March Madness. Don't go anywhere.
I never get all dressed up anymore. Just never happens. So it can be a little intimidating when I think about it when I get into the closet. That's why I just leave it all up to Indochino. I'm too old to have friends who are getting married. Although, shout out to Justisha Pack in Toronto.
Yeah.
Long-time Basketball Jones friend of the family. When I need to get dressed up, Indochino has my stats. I uploaded them years ago, so I can just click, select some customizations, pick my look, and I am good to go. I do have a preschool graduation coming up, so with suits starting at just $4.99, why not customize it? Let's do this. What do you guys think I should get? I'm thinking on my shirt, a little bib, sort of at the collar, because I'm probably going to be crying. I might dab with the bib, dab my tears. And with fitted shirts at just $89, why not? Why not have a bib that I'm going to wear once?
My
Why
bib
not have
shirt.
a bib?
Indochino can pull it off. Everything tailored like it's Jonathan Thomas. Boo. Yeah, why not? Anyways, from my house, everything tailored. There's a home improvement joke in there. But anyways, I can just click, boom, boom, boom. Doesn't get any better than that. Not going anywhere. When planning your wedding, get a suit as unique as you with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code NODUNKS to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com. Promo code NODUNKS.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral vodka seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good, like real good, like really, really good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. And Neutral, it comes in 12 flavors. 3 different packs. These are like March Madness regions with these packs. We got the fruit pack. Pineapple, watermelon, raspberry, mango. We got the lemonade pack. Classic lemonade, peach lemonade, blackberry, and strawberry lemonade. And then we got the cranberry pack for all the cran hunters out there. Classic cran, grapefruit, apple, orange cranberry. I was thinking, if we were to build a No Dunks neutral pack and you had to select one of the flavors to represent you in that pack, where would you go?
I'd go grapefruit.
Okay, Tass is grapefruit. I like it.
It's sweet, but also bitter at the same time.
Okay, what about you, TK?
I'd like to be lime, please.
Lime? I don't think that was an option.
I thought that was in the fruit pack.
No, classic peach, blackberry, and strawberry lemonade. Oh, wait, sorry, pineapple, watermelon, raspberry, and mango.
Mango is what I meant.
Okay, mango. We can talk to Neutral about making a lime. I mean, that could be,
Yeah,
No
surprising.
Dunks custom flavor.
yeah, it's possible. What about you, JD? What do you want?
Coming down for orange cran.
Orange crayon!
Yeah.
All right.
This guy from left field with an orange cran ball.
You know what? We got Trey as mango from the fruit pack. We got 2 cran packs here. We got grapefruit from Tass, orange cran from JD. So I got to go to the lemonade pack, I guess. Just give me a classic lemonade.
Oh, I had that on the
Let's
weekend.
not overthink it. You did.
Oh,
Tasty.
tasty.
There you go. So,
And I had an orange cran. Also tasty. That's why I picked it.
do you think we can get Neutral to make a No Dunks pack? Comes with a mango, a classic lemonade, a grapefruit cran, and an orange cran. That's a wild pack.
That's a wild
But
pack.
we're wild here at No Dunks. Neutral, light and refreshing taste. It shows you what a vodka seltzer can be. So try Neutral vodka seltzer in a variety of real fruit flavors today. Okay, Selection Sunday, March Madness. Again, we are not college basketball sickos, but we are basketball fans. And everybody loves March Madness. And you know we got to fill out a bracket. That's what we're going to do. But our men's number 1 seeds, Alabama, which the NCAA believes is the best team in the tournament. Houston, which is the team I think Vegas thinks has the best chance to win it all. Kansas is a number 1 seed. They lost in the Big 12 tournament final. But head coach Bill Self, he's back in the mix for the big dance there. And then Purdue, whose hopes ride on a 7'4" giant named Zach Edey, Canadian. That's right. Zach Edey, 7'4". This guy's like Yao. He's a Canadian Yao. This guy. It's unbelievable. So Alabama, Houston, Kansas, and Purdue are the number 1 seeds. Chris Branch for the Athletic in the Pulse today. He wrote that there are 2 types of bracket sickos in this world. There's the one shot. That's the person who's already filled it out by this morning. Just won't change it. Just boom, done. Gut reaction to all the matchups. Okay, I'm out of here. And then there's the editor, the person who has filled it out. They've made changes twice already. They got 5 more updates they're going to make this week. They're not going to lock it in until the final 10 minutes before Thursday's first game, before tip-off there. Are you guys a one shot or an editor?
All I need is one shot.
Yeah. You got to be a one-shot guy.
You're right.
Yeah. JD, what about you? You're an actual editor. Are you doing that with your brackets?
No. One shot. Got to go with the gut. That's it. Lock it in right away.
Well, I hope we do that as a team, guys. We're all one-shot guys here. And all week long, with our friends at Neutral, we're going to fill out our bracket. And we're going to have a pool. We're going to share that link.
I think
we'll
it's
battle each other.
created,
Okay,
and
great.
I think I'm sharing it.
And where are we going? Classic NCAA CBS bracket?
It's a CBS Sports joint right
Okay,
here.
excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
so we won't do this all today because that would take forever. But let's do a region a day here as we build our way to Thursday's actual tip-off. I know we've got those, what do they call them? The first 4 games starting on Tuesday night.
Sure.
But they don't really matter to this. So let's start with the South region. Again, Neutral helping us out here. TK, let's do it. I guess you'll sort of take us through the matchups here, and we'll talk it out and debate who moves on.
Well, we don't have our first matchup set.
Oh, that's a problem.
So real quick, who do you think's going to win? Texas Corpus Christi or Southeast Missouri?
SEMO? Yeah.
I like SEMO.
Yeah,
I
but
also like SEMO
It ain't
here.
gonna matter because Alabama's gonna wax them.
You ready to throw an Alabama in there, the overall number 1 seed? We've had one seed ever lose to a 16 seed.
It just
in
happened,
NCAA
didn't
tournament
it?
history. Yep. WNBC. I forget what it stands for. Wisconsin Milwaukee Basketball Club.
Who'd they
Probably not that. They beat the 1 seed, Skeets.
Not going to happen again.
Well played. Yeah, no, Alabama, put them through. Okay.
All right, put them through. Now things are getting interesting here. We got the Maryland Terrapins versus the West Virginia. I think they're the Mountaineers.
Yeah, that
if I
sounds
do
right.
believe.
That sounds right.
And if I'm guessing, knowing what I know about Bob Huggins, West Virginia has a staunch defense.
Right.
They've always got good defenders there. Javon Carter is a guy from West Virginia. And I think there's the next Javon Carter already there. I also saw that over the course of NCAA history, the 9 seed has actually beaten the 8 seed more times than vice versa.
Yeah. I mean,
So it should be a fair matchup.
yeah, it's a flip a coin, but I'm totally on board taking West Virginia. Tass, you're all right with that?
Yeah. I undoubtedly would like to pick the 9 seed. It just adds a little spice to the bracket.
Okay.
To me, you know,
Yeah, a little spice right there.
when you're picking these things, you want to pick
That's-
some under. I'm not a chalk man. I'll
Yeah,
never be
no,
a chalk
we're not
man.
chalking
Chalk
it up.
man.
Don't you worry about that. But like also, the spice by picking a 9 seed over an 8 seed is like pepper.
No, I know, but you need something, Skeets.
Yeah,
I don't want to be one of those picking these ridiculous upsets that just aren't gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I want a little life
Okay.
in my bracket.
Well, isn't this next one like notoriously one that does happen a lot? 5-12.
12-5,
You know
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The San Diego State Aztecs, home of Kawhi Leonard versus the Charleston College.
Cougars. They're the Cougars.
The Cougars, home to a girl I went to high school with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which one?
She, I assume, has graduated since it was, over 20 years ago. Shout out to Lydia Carey if you happen to be watching the show. My guess is
She
no.
dropped out.
Okay.
I actually think she.
Look at that strength of schedule. Not great.
Yeah,
for,
you like that SLS
Charleston
right there?
Yeah. Holy moly.
Look at those points per game. I do believe this is a run and gun team, perhaps.
Yeah. Right. Can they?
Yep.
Can they catch fire?
Can they catch fire?
I mean,
31-3. That's nice, man. But they only played one game against the top 25 team. Lost it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
San
We
Diego
know
State
we
looks
know
tough
we're going to
here.
be taking at least one 12 over a 5, but is it this one?
It doesn't seem like it's this one. to
No,
me.
I'm with you. Let's
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
San Diego, man. San
All right.
Diego State.
There we go. This one's for Marshall Faulk.
All right.
Next up, the Virginia Cavaliers, the Who's, versus the Furman Paladins. Is that right? I think that might be.
Yes, that is,
might
I
be
believe,
correct.
right. Yes, I believe.
Furman Paladins.
I saw that this one was referred to as a tortoise versus hare matchup. Furman, I have look at the stats here. Furman is averaging 82 points per game, giving up 71. University of Virginia, though, is known for being a defensive team. They send a ton of guys to the NBA, and they're all pretty solid defenders, like a DeAndre Hunter, a Joe Harris, a Sam Hauser, and you will guarantee see John Hollinger tweeting about how smart all their players are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he?
They're a tournament-tested team.
Okay.
Paladins are led by a pair of fifth-year seniors. They got the age. Jalen Slauson and Mike Bothwell.
Well, they're not called fur boys.
Wait, who? Slauson and Bothwell?
Slauson and Bothwell, bringing it to you.
Slauson and Flosson out there.
Man.
Yeah.
I saw. Okay. I saw a lot of
did-
people taking Furman as an upset, so I
Really?
almost want to swerve on them.
Swerving on Furman.
Yeah,
a
I
little
want to
bit.
go to UVA.
I
That's
kind of
one-
think so. UVA too.
Okay.
They're
I
always
like
good
cheering
in the
for them. I
tourney.
like cheering for the Cavs.
You do love the Cavs.
You do love the
Any
I like
Cavalier.
these Cavs. I was gifted a Bago set, a cornhole set, and the pre-inserted like screen plastic thing that came on the set was a Virginia
Yeah,
Cavaliers logo. So I love them. I just love them. I've never changed that. I've never put in my. They try to get you like, oh, you can buy a slide and put them in here. You know, whatever team you
We
like.
should create custom no dunks once. That'd be pretty cool.
Sure.
No dunks.
I'd put 'em in.
cornhole boards.
No dunks, cornhole board.
Corn slides.
All right.
All right, so
Keep
we
going.
go. Let's go, Virginia. Good move.
Yeah, I do think. From what I can tell, the 13 seed seems to be the hot seed these days.
Yeah.
Compared to
interesting.
the 12 seed. You know, like everybody knows about 12 versus 5. The new one is 13 over 4.
Right. Right.
Oh, Hybrid Max Powertrain? Sounds good to me. Next,
Literally, I
we got,
can't even turn off my sound.
What a show today.
this is a good one.
Holy moly! What a show.
Look, it's still talking.
I know. Is that your?
What's going on here?
This man is lost.
Hold on. What is playing?
My podcast started somehow. Stuff you should know somehow started. I have no idea how this started.
They got anything
So
about
it was your phone,
Many
not your
devices. Yeah, I wasn't even touching it.
Do they have an episode on the NCAA tournament? Because that would be very helpful.
Well, yeah, I was just looking. I saw this from the New York Times. A 1 in 9.2 quintillion chance to get a perfect bracket.
Yeah, that's right.
Quintillion.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Like how many digits is that?
It's just past the trillions. So it's too many. 16. 16.
Wow.
I'd say. Yeah, we're into the
We're gonna do it.
quintillions.
16?
Yeah, 16.
You don't think 20?
Back to the bracket, please. Let's go.
I hear what
Let's
you're
hear it.
saying.
Not
I hear what
that
you're
one. Jesus Christ almighty.
Quadrillion, I think, would be next after trillion. But
Yeah,
our
you're right.
next matchup is the Creighton Blue Jays versus the NC State Wolfpack.
Oh!
That's right, Skeets.
Julius Hodge,
I know
baby.
you love dogs, but I also know you love Toronto, which is the most famous of Blue Jays. So what? We got Kyle Korver and Doug McDermott versus Julius Hodge and Tom Gugliotta. What you got?
Wow.
I don't know if they're playing.
I'm going NC State.
You like NC State?
No, we're
500
chalk
against
right
teams that are
now,
top
so we gotta
25.
start. We gotta get at least 1 or 2 in here, right?
Yeah, I think the ACC down year for the ACC, but I'm willing to go for an upset here.
But there's Ryan Nemhard's on Creighton. I do believe he's brother of Andrew, if I'm not mistaken.
Giving me a Canadian connection to cheer for.
Ryan Nemhard, brother.
Look at those 3-point shooting stats. My dad tells me it always comes down to guard play in the NCAA.
I believe that.
I actually believe that too.
They dictate the game.
Yeah, and college players turn the ball over all the time.
Well,
Just don't mess up.
Yeah, don't mess up is the key.
Who's gonna mess up then?
Who's got the most turnovers here?
Okay.
That's what we got to find out. Well, it looks to me like Creighton's going to mess up. So NC State, you're going in.
Wow. All right.
Why not? The Baylor Bears versus what? The University of California SB
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara Hats.
Gauchos.
Gauchos? Yeah, they're the
yeah.
Gauchos, I do believe.
Yeah.
And their mascot is a hat. That's cool. Baylor, a recent NCAA champion, 2020, I do believe, something like that. I think they're known perhaps as a defensive team, though. Looking here, they've given up 70 points per game, so maybe not.
Things have changed.
I ain't betting on a hat.
No way. I hate hats.
Baylor,
I'm actively rooting against the hats.
Baylor won in 2021.
21, there we go.
And then they got bounced last year, right? It wasn't in North Carolina beat them.
That could be.
So they need some revenge.
Okay.
Baylor? Yeah,
Baylor.
nice.
Oh, I get users picked there. I didn't see that. All
Okay,
right.
you know what? I think Big 12 is actually a good basketball conference right now. They seem good to me.
Baylor it is.
Baylor it is. All right, Missouri Tigers versus the Utah State Cougars. No idea what this one is. I'm like, Utah is the Utes. BYU is the Cougars. Utah
Aggies.
State Aggies.
Oh, the Aggies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're talking Farmers versus Tigers here. The Tigers, interesting. I don't understand what net rank is. I don't understand how they generate that because the lower seeded Utah State Aggies, the 10th seed, have a higher net rank than the Mizzou Tigers. So I don't know. Strength of schedule. Wow, Utah looks like they've played a pretty solid schedule.
I'm going
here.
Utah here because we were just there too.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Okay, I'm in. we went to Utah recently. Haven't been to Missouri in years.
Yeah.
At this point, 2019 was my last time in Missouri, I think. All right, Arizona Wildcats, Princeton Princes,
215.
Princeton Tires. That's a 215 matchup between different felines.
You talked about like only one 16th seed ever winning a first round game.
Uh-huh.
I believe that means then 10, 15 seeds in history have won that first round matchup.
Okay.
So very rare.
Rare ski.
Very, very rare. And I don't think it's happening in this one. I'm Team Arizona.
Team Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like a talented bunch.
Yeah, they've got 96% of users have picked Arizona, so I'm with the 96% on this one.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Princeton. All
Sorry,
right, keep
sorry,
going.
Tigers.
Oh yeah, we got to
All right,
pick
back
more
up
than
top.
one round.
Yeah, man. We
Forgot about
got to
that.
get our Final Four team from the South.
You bet.
Final four team from the South. In our round of 32 matchup, we got a 1 seed Alabama Crimson Tide versus the 9 seed West Virginia Mountaineers. Is it time for an upset?
No.
No. Sending the 1 seed on
I don't
through.
know a lot about college basketball, but I do know Alabama's looked pretty damn good this year.
They got a good draft prospect, Brandon Miller.
Right.
A lot of controversy
That's
surrounding the team as well.
That's true.
San Diego State, Aztecs versus Virginia Cavaliers. Talk about a bi-coastal matchup. We're in the South. Where is that? Where's the South for this?
Where are
they playing?
Where are they playing?
I have no clue.
My guess is that there will be more Virginia fans. Does that matter? Sometimes it does.
Taz, who you got in this one? 5-4. Talk me into it. San Diego State or Virginia?
Well, you want to talk about it so we can figure it out? The thing is, when you talk about the second round, you just say the same things that you talked about in the first round. Because that's all I know. I'm out of information here. I have my affinity for Virginia, as I talked about. Can't get away from that.
Okay. Virginia.
Virginia it is.
Go with your gut.
Trust your gut. That's the key here. All right, next we have a matchup between the North Carolina State Wolfpack, if the 11th seed versus the 3 seed Baylor Bears. And teams are more, or users are definitely more on the Baylor Bears. 63% of them choosing Baylor to advance out of the round
But
of 32.
only 7% pick North Carolina State.
Yeah.
It's probably to advance
Yeah.
this round. Yeah. That's why I'm going with the...
Stick with Baylor.
No way, man. This is the upset of all upsets. This is one people are going to be talking about.
Baylor was upset last year.
That's exactly right. It's in
Or
their
they-
head.
It's in their head. They're rattled,
I don't
man.
know, man. I just like.
They are
I just want to see a double
rattled.
digit. I like to see a double digit flirting into that Sweet 16. You
There
know?
we go.
They were a 1 seed last year, and they lost in the second round
Oh, geez. See.
Oh.
by another North Carolina.
Oh,
the North Carolina.
There you go. See.
The story writes itself.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I like that then. I like the narrative element. Because why not? How about in our last round of 32 matchup, the Utah State Aggies, the Arizona Wildcats. That's a 10 versus a 2. My guess is we're getting similar percentages here. 5% have Utah State advancing to the Sweet 16. 82% got the Wildcats.
I think this is going to be a good game.
It's going to be a good game.
Yep.
Couple of West Coast teams.
It's going to be a close game, but well, I don't know. I guess we're taking Arizona. I assume we're taking the number 2 seed.
Yeah, let's stay with Arizona here. This one's for Bibby.
Okay.
That one's for Mike Bibby.
All right.
Big choice here. Alabama or Virginia. A 1 versus a 4. The number 1 overall seed versus a team who is known to show up in the postseason.
I think we should take Alabama.
You want to stick with
Because
Alabama?
I'm a little terrified that Virginia doesn't even make it past the first game, with a lot of people trying to convince me that Furman can beat them in
You
that
think it's
upset. So I think we
Furmania?
should just cover our ass a little bit, and even if we have Virginia winning a couple games, that'll be fine. We'll still have big points there with Alabama, in theory, beating them.
Excellent.
Okay.
How about the Wolfpack versus the Wildcats? Dog versus cats.
Well, I'm
Really
team
makes
dog.
you think.
Yeah. Well, I'm team dog.
You're team dog.
But,
This man is team
yeah,
dog.
But you guys, I might be.
Tass, team cat.
I'm a team.
Yeah.
I'm team cat.
I've got both.
One of the. You got both. Whoa. Should we bring in a ringer to give us the?
It's got to be JD.
JD,
And
where
guess
are we
what?
going?
We know what.
We know where
we
we're
know where
going.
we're going.
What do you mean?
You have
Dogs
two
or cats,
you have
man?
2 dogs.
That's how we're picking.
All right, dogs.
All right. NC State. Look at
All
this.
right, great.
Wow.
Wow. 1 versus 11. Are we sticking with the dogs, or does anybody have an elephant at their home? Somehow that's the mascot for Alabama. The Crimson Tide Elephant.
The elephant documentary just won an Oscar. It's a good doc too.
Okay.
I saw it. It's on Netflix. I want to say is it just called The Elephant Whisper? Something like that. It's good. The Elephant Whispers. That's Alabama going through to the Final Four.
Okay.
I think they are. That's my pick. I mean, I've talked you into NC State this far, so I gotta get off board at this
This is
point.
a good cover us, for sure. All right, let's stick with Alabama.
All right, that's our first pick.
Nice.
For our Final Four pick.
That's our Final Four.
Okay, excellent.
Who will join them? Tune in tomorrow.
All right. Yes. What region are we going tomorrow then? I guess the one below the south. What
The
is it?
East.
Oh, we're going to the East. Okay.
Talking Purdue.
Okay. Ooh.
Some big names here. Oh, some big names.
Okay,
The biggest.
okay.
Nice.
We'll do that on tomorrow's show. Thanks again to Neutral for encouraging us to finally fill out a March Madness bracket here on the show. We'll take one more break when we come back, pick 'em results, and a few Tweet of the Nights. Don't go anywhere.
You know what sucks?
What?
Shipping costs. Who amongst us hasn't abandoned a cart online because it was going to cost as much to ship an item as it does to buy the item in the first place? It's the number one reason people abandon their carts. But ShipStation wants to live in a no carts left behind world. When you use ShipStation, you can lower shipping costs, make returns easy, keep your customers happy, and your carts unabandoned. ShipStation makes it easy to grow your business by handling your orders from every marketplace in one dashboard. It effortlessly integrates everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. You can manage every order from one simple dashboard, automate routine shipping tasks, print shipping labels, and so much more. With the best discounts in the industry, you'll never worry about overpaying for shipping. Get up to 84% off USPS and UPS rates, and if that's not enough, use the NoDunks promo code to try ShipStation free for 2 months. Go to ShipStation.com, use promo code NoDunks today to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code NoDunks for a 60-day free trial.
Guys, this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially because we're always growing and changing. For example, all of a sudden, I don't like asparagus. I think I have anxiety about my pee smelling later. Gotta learn to live in the moment, I guess. But that's where therapy comes in. It's all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk through those things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. At the end of the day, it's all about coping skills. Right now, I got a house full of guests. One of my kids is sick. We launched a Patreon today. My favorite mug broke. We're premiering No Bunts this week, and Tass's co-host lives in Taiwan. Point is, I have a lot on my plate, and some coping skills would be nice. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/NoDunks today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/NoDunks.
Friday night pick'em results. We had the Hawks-Wizards game. It was basically a pick'em. Wizards had a point to play with as dogs, but the Hawks covered. Win for me, win for Trey. Tass had the Wizards. You and I are 3-5 in March. Trey, a very solid 6-2. What's tonight's game?
We got a 4 versus 6 matchup in the Western Conference. Suns going to visit the Golden State Warriors, and they are 4.5-point dogs. Obviously no Durant. Feels like kind of a juicy line, though, for the Warriors to get 4.5 points at home. They got to win by 5 or more. Skeets, you got them, though. Trey and I think that the Suns will cover on the road.
It's a tough one. Especially that line there. I mean, I could see the Warriors winning. Will they win by 5 or more? But I went and checked. I mean, we talked about their home record being amazing. When they win at home, they generally do win by a decent amount. So we'll see if that can continue. I got the Warriors. They got to win by 5 or more. These guys got the Suns as the dogs. Okay, let's go to Tweet of the Night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
I just got a couple fun photos for you guys from the weekend. Our first tweet of the night is from the Pacers themselves. They tweeted a photo of Coach Carlisle and 50 Cent hanging out together, and there was a lot of get Rick or die trying retweets with this. So well done, everybody. I saw like 1 million of those. Perfectly played. Jim Carrey and 50 Cent there. Hanging out. Okay, that's it. It's just a photo. It's funny.
Just 50 Cent and Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
You can imagine it in your head.
But this one is probably the real winner of the weekend when it comes to tweet of the weekend. It's a retweet actually from @LessIsMo. Mike Budenholzer, if some Looney Tunes dynamite blew up in his face, and there's a photo of, I assume, a soccer coach. I don't really know who this soccer/football coach is, but man, is that not the perfect caption for this pick? Mike Budenholzer, if some Looney Tunes dynamite blew up in his face. If you're listening to the podcast, you got to come check out the YouTube version and see the photo, because it is perfect.
There's literally no other way to describe it.
It's so
too good.
Perfect. That's exactly what it looks like.
Saw this on the internet, and I just hoped it would make it into our show.
Yeah, I had to.
Because the Bud connection as well. He does look like Coach Budenholzer with less hair.
Yeah.
Like it. I don't know. It got blown off
Yeah.
by
Stick of dynamite from the Looney Tunes world. Okay, there it is. Those are two
That's just
tweets
some
of the
funny
night.
picture, man.
Just some great picks going around. What a show. What a wild show. Jeff Probst, our cardboard cutout, fell down. We broke a mug.
I'm covered in coffee now.
Tass had a podcast just start playing out of the blue. We had a couple
Really
epic
weird.
coughs up in here. There was a lot going on, and we started filling out our March Madness bracket. We'll continue to do that all week. But we'll be talking some NBA hoops on tomorrow's podcast here live at 10 a.m. Eastern from the Classic Factory. Join us tonight for a little playback fun, our NBA watch party. We'll start off around 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll get that link in the show notes. We'll share that. I'll tweet it out and all that. You can join us tonight. It's a lot of fun. You just sign up for free with Playback, and then you log in with whatever system or whatever account you do to watch games. And we'll be on for a couple hours, usually are. So join us tonight for that. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning here from the Classic Factory. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, you can always look at something that's broken in two ways. Either it's half full, or it's half empty.
Brace the day, people.